Hello, I'm Steve Shut the fuck up, Paul Ray. Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason and welcome
to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast for Back to the Future Part 3. I'm joined with Paul Ray, Won't Shut the Fuck Up, and Carl McSorley, and I'm about to count down from 3, 2, 1, play. I've just pressed play on the menu screen. I have no idea what the guys are watching this on.
So I'm Blu-ray menu screen, so I'll be the same as you, I'd imagine.
Right, Paul Ray will be ahead of time. Not back in time. The old Universal. Oh, is this the this is the montage to the massive one, isn't it? Like when the brand new one came. That's the original.
This is the.
Go ahead, Paul.
It goes to the good old-fashioned 1990s Universal 3D effect that you use in Waterworld.
Yeah, we still need to get Waterworld on the cards. Like, I mean, that'll probably have to be our next one. An ongoing joke. I did. So yesterday, quite a funny story before this really starts. Guess who turned up last night in Twin Peaks when I was watching it?
Mike McFly.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane.
It's an interesting thing because he's not in this one, but Twin Peaks was the same time, so he was off doing Twin Peaks. It's also dead funny because there was a guy in the Mind Ripper podcast I did, and I've seen him in Summit, and then obviously that night I was watching it, he was in Twin Peaks, and then fucking aliens have turned up, now David Duchovny's turned up, so let's get fucking hell. But here, it starts off with a flashback. Do you remember what was going on?
Going back to the first one, yeah. Because obviously people like me went to pictures as a kid, never seen the second one, so I'm going, cool, what's going on?
So you're saying that this was just done just for you, Paul Ray? Is that what you're saying?
Yep. When I went to pictures, when I was 3 years old. Obviously you must have been aware, so that there was a second one. So, right, yeah, but what was your thought process when you sat in the cinema and this is happening now? Did you think, it was a trick of pictures in them days, you didn't complain, you just went and watched it.
I just went, that's how I went to go to Flubber. Although my cousins had a spare ticket, do you want to go and see Flubber? Just going off another story, my old brother-in-law, Chris, he went to see Transformers Age of Extinction with us. He tagged along one night to see it. He's like, I haven't seen the other three, do I need to? I was like, fuck me. And I go, well, you're serious? And he came out and he's like, what did you think? I said, I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on. I was like, yeah, no wonder, why did you even agree to come if you hadn't fucking seen the first three?
Well, I can do one better on that. There was a bloke on the internet that I found hilarious that he did it, that he went to watch the Avengers Endgame. He hadn't seen a single Avengers film or any Marvel film whatsoever.
That
it was just like so funny when he came out and he was like, so I got when this happened, that was a big deal, but I didn't know why he was, and I was just like, why would you go and watch something that's notoriously taken 23 films to do? So for me, this is the weakest one in the trilogy for me, like. Yeah. But at the same time, I'd argue in the fact that is it the weakest film or is it just the one we've seen the most? Because from my opinion, that was. I mean, I'll probably have a different opinion by the end of this, but I feel like that'll be like my thing. Like I've seen this like 100 million times. But then again, when it's on TV, I end up watching it again. Just because it's on. You can't not. Well, this is it though. You can't not. It's one of those films where, like, especially back when you were a kid, if this popped up on ITV or something like that, you were going to spend some time watching it. Is that real rain or what? I can't tell. It looks like it's real water, but it doesn't look like it's coming from the sky.
It's a rain machine that hitting the car. You can see it hitting the car.
That looked like the camera was probably too high, and you could see where like kind of was foaming from. Whereas when it panned out, it looks fine now. But I think that camera angle was maybe the mistake.
The house.
It's very slow. Like the music, I love the music in this bit. Yeah, like it's really nice.
Leah Thompson gets the and.
Yes. Hi, Mr. McFly. To you, Mr. McFly. Sorry, Mr. Eastwood. Well, yeah, but didn't they contact Eastwood? I'm sure they contacted Eastwood to ask him for permission to use the like almost likeness as it was. Yeah. He probably loved that. Double back by ZZ Top.
That's too bad when you get.
Well, I'll get this one out of the way since there's only one tagline for this film. And based on what some people's opinions are, they might not like it that much because it does state that this is the best. So, they saved the best trip for last, but but this time they may have gone too far. It's, I mean, like I say, the best triple, that's I suppose, obviously you're trying to sell it on there. But,
at least they're drawing the letter off next to the fire.
Well, of course, yeah, sensible.
And
And I like the fact that that's exactly what you would do, isn't it? I mean, what they've done in the last two films, you would just go to home and just sit on the chair and fall asleep.
We never had Harry Doody over here, did we? From like 1950s, but nothing like that. We had like Dylan Bennett for our pop men in the 70s and 60s, that's period. So all this stuff is really kind of new to us, isn't it? Like Mr. Rogers and stuff like that. We never even had Pee Wee Herman TV show over here.
No. I mean, it's not like the British equivalent, but I think when you think of Pee Wee Herman and what we got, I feel like we always got like Ernest rather than Pee Wee.
Yeah.
We only got a few of Ernest through though. Ernest wasn't really. I remember Ernest a little bit. Like Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes Camp, but Ernest was a massive thing in America.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think I could probably say I've seen about maybe 3 at best, but I mean, even then, I don't think I realised just how popular and how many there were.
Yeah.
He's one of those actors as well where you think, like, I couldn't possibly imagine you as a normal person.
He had a bit of an up and down career. Like he was in the Beverly Hills Bullies, which another 90s movie that sort of got lost in limbo.
I would say Doc's probably at his most insane in this film.
Well, there's the hoverboard.
Yeah. As a kid, this was so confusing. Yeah, you sent me back, but I came back to go forward, to go back.
Especially when you haven't seen the second one.
Yeah.
Good boy. And he doesn't actually believe him.
No. Well, I think if you, like, clarify today, I think Doc Brown could definitely be certified as mad.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Was on VHS you seen this one, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I don't think I saw it at the cinema. I think this was a VHS one for me.
What's the last famous for? Because she gets a name. She not only gets herself on the cover, but she actually gets name checked on the front of the cover.
What, Paul's favourite? Clara?
Mary
Steenburgen.
Aye.
Mary Steenburgen. She's made loads of stuff.
The brothers is one I really know about.
I think, what else did she do? Well, she was the mother in Step Brothers, so like at a more recent thing.
That's the one I know from. I think I even took that into
Goodbye, Mason.
Goodbye, Mason. Where you gone, like? Where am I gone?
No, I said she was in Justified, Mason.
Oh, fuck my life. Jesus, she is. I knew. I've just fucking finished it. She's in the last series,
That's why I'm thinking that's why you're familiar with it.
No, it was bugging me. Fucking honestly, it was bugging me head where I knew her from, and that was it. It was loads of famous people popped up and Justified. It's an amazing TV show. If you're wanting someone to watch in lockdown, like it's fucking class.
At least Doc's got everything like instructions how to fix the time machine and using 1955 parts, and the models in the background, isn't it, from the first one? It's good continuity that. Yeah,
it's a nice little set. I mean, it's kind of like what his home will look like, and do you know what I mean? I mean, he hasn't got the VCR player hooked up to the screen, but then does it happen in this reality or not? You know what I mean? That's one thing they've missed there.
He pulls out the red car from the first one that was set on fire.
Do you think they knew this was going to be the last one?
Oh yeah, I mean, from what I know, they were greenlit for free, and I think for years there was a thing of like, what's he going to do? But Zemeckis has gone on to do really well. I mean, people got to remember, like Forrest Gump's a Zemeckis film. Do you know what I mean? He has had a hit on this career, but like, you know what I mean? It was done, dusted, it's made its money. That's it.
Yeah.
Castaway. Well, if his also.
Castaway's his, yeah. Polar Express is his. Do you know what I mean?
And Welcome to Marvin that came a few years ago with.
I was meant to see that actually. That was Stephen Carell.
Yeah,
Steve Carell, yeah.
it did flop, like, but again, they could have got a better looking dog. Oh, hang on, which dog's that? It's not Einstein, that is it?
That's not Einstein. Is it an alternative Einstein, though?
It's the one. It's the one from the 50s, isn't it, or whatever it's from? Where he's from?
Copernicus. Copernicus is his name for the 15th time. God, I mean, listening on. See, you want some knowledge? Knowledge about dogs in movies, dogs and banks. That's all I know in movies.
But does anyone know what he was called in this film?
Copernicus.
Is someone biting there a little bit?
I think we're going to go for another poo in a minute.
Yeah, we're late on doing this podcast today because Paul Ray was on the toilet. So.
With the chain.
So there we go. And that totally looks like. Oh my God! What's going on? Paul Ray left.
Paul Ray's back.
It's getting there, like.
Well, I thought you just had enough there. I was just commenting on how shitty the graveyard looks.
You know what it is, though? What's really obvious now that I say it is that clearly the Western setup, innit?
Oh, totally. Like they have not.
Shouldn't be in a modern convenient place.
Oh no, they've totally not left the back lot for this fucker, man. That's the trick of this movie. Then in the Western set, I mean, it was.
Even Marty McFly's jacket's very Western, even though he's meant to be in the 50s.
It's crazy that time machine's been there for 80 odd years, isn't it? Something must have happened. That would these days it would be like a house built on top of it or something.
Well, is it like a timed what do you call it, time vessel? Or is it the one that when someone's pulling out Gary Glitter and all them fucking Jimmy Savile cards?
I think it's like a Gollywog and Gary Glitter and stuff like that, yeah.
But again, that's what people do. Salvages. I mean, the biggest salvage place left going, which is not dangerous, is the sea. I mean, there was a lot of mining back in the day, and it's definitely big in the Southern America. Wrapped that up nice, didn't he?
Oh, just a bit.
Very precise though, Doc Brown, isn't he? Very precise.
Well, he's a man of accuracy.
But the thing is, does he know, because he's from the future, that if he puts it there, he'll get it there, so he knows it's going to be safe? There you go.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, but we've seen how they found it. There's no one stumbled across that, was there?
But alternative realities, there's a reality where someone's found it and they can't get back and they get stuck. I mean, that's the wormhole to talk about, you know what I mean? All the different paradigm shifts.
Yeah.
What if? Oh, the wheels are fucking gone, like.
Just a bit.
Because we never got trucks like that over here in England. All our trucks just seem to be window, small bonnet, front. You know what I mean? A good old fashioned like bit of length on a truck. Doesn't happen over here. I mean, if you try to park that truck there now in the UK, you get a parking ticket because you took up too much space. You got, it's 2 beers. Seen it happen? Oh yeah, the realisation that he's dead.
He's going to be dead anyway. The thing about it.
Well, he did die though, didn't we? We did establish that the actual Doc Brown from the first one did die.
He's died twice?
Greyfriars Bobby, that though, isn't it? Greyfriars Bobby, the dog going to the grave.
Yeah.
Died in this one.
Ah, right, I suppose I didn't think you were including this one. Aye.
Weird. So that's an alternative timeline, really, isn't it? Who the hell's Claire? Marty, don't start that, Marty!
I'm not sure on his hair. He didn't like his hair doesn't look as good as it has now in the last 2 films.
Who, Doc or Marty?
Doc's hair, yeah.
Oh, this Mad Dog's wearing his bandana around his neck, so he's ready to go to shops.
Yeah.
Mad Dog.
He did like the small things that you appreciate, and like the fact that like he did turn up at all three of them. Or like when you look at all of them, really. Like after modern day, how he's been like a big actor, like likely chances are he's not going to come back to this one. But
Would have been contracted for it.
But like the thing is with him, right? He deserves to be on the front cover dressed as the cowboy. Do you know what I mean? Like he should be there instead of Mary. What you call it? If you fucking go like, you know, I was in the first three. I deserve to be at least on the cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah.
so the interesting thing is, there must have been potentially trying to like make up with Crispin Glover though, because one of my notes here is that apparently he was meant to play Seamus originally.
Who would have had a better Bray accent.
It definitely seemed to have a big burn between him and Universal, like.
Yeah, the look of the Back to the Future 3 cars we had with 1950s tyres on, but it doesn't look too bad actually.
He looks very cartoony. It's so much higher up than what it should be, especially. It actually looked like that. Those tyres could have come from Roger Rabbit.
Please.
I mean, even there in the background, they clearly like that. There is Western set, so
Yeah.
they might have ventured out, just like you seen on Quentin Tarantino, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with a Western set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's clearly like out there in a parking lot. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's the thing is, I think you can always like forgive it for that though, because I feel like all the Back to the Future have all had that kind of feel. So at least it's consistent, if you know what I mean. Whereas that you couldn't find. I mean, the entire place there stood there with like surrounded. I mean, they're obviously in a drive-in, but
Hey, I wonder if I can actually go to shops dressed as a cowboy with my bandana on. Would anyone say anything?
Probably not. You'll probably look like fucking Paul.
I am Paul.
I know, but Paul.
I'm the alien Paul.
I take him to the shop dressed as a fucking cowboy.
Not bring a fourth-dimensional body. But that 1950s was all colourfully in these films, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Very
Not
placid
really just-
colours. Placid would be a word. There's a lot of pale pastel-y colours. You look at the 80s and it's like the era of neon colour.
Neon.
Laser quasar for the 90s.
so you should have still been wearing his train shirt like you had in the second one.
But it's a different dog claw.
Shit, yeah.
You're not thinking fourth dimensional, are you, Carl?
I'm not getting my head around this whole time travel thing. It's almost like it's really not realistic.
I know, but you know, those Indians won't be there if it goes back in time. It's just a picture, isn't it? They won't be there.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
He's not paying for
What's the likelihood of it? You know what I mean?
That DeLorean rev up sounds completely different for an 85-year-old bloody DeLorean, isn't it?
Like he needs
Sorry,
to go in.
power.
Why doesn't he go back with him?
Because he needs to stay in the present so he can meet him in the future. Otherwise, if Doc went back and something happened to Doc and he went back, there'll be two Docs. They'll talk to each other and there'll be a temporal space conjunction. But then also you need 1955 Doc to live to 1985 Doc to make the time machine.
Yeah.
Alright.
Boom!
So apparently that drive-in theatre was built especially for the film. It was built in Monument Valley and demolished immediately after filming. No film were ever screened there.
It would have been made to keep, like, I mean, again, they went for the backdrop and that, but it would have been made just to clear out anything you could see, so they could have a closed set almost, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was a full 360 like full 360 around, they'd probably build that wall, no one can get over it, and that's it.
Would have been a fun idea to do like a mini premiere, like for special guests there for the third film.
I mean, obviously we're going to talk about like one of the greatest cameos ever in a movie is Doc Brown with the DeLorean in A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of when you turned around and said obviously there could be multiple Docs and multiple Martys around the universe.
But I'm on playing.
Exactly what happened there.
The thing with me watching this one, I'm actually on playing Red Dead Redemption 2 now, and I'm wondering. I'm watching this, but I'm saying I'm playing the game at the moment downstairs. And it's kind of like, is there a Back to the Future reference in that? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of lots of puns and jokes.
The thing about Doc Brown in Million Ways to Die in the West, he looks like he's from The Last Crusade, when he drinks from the wrong cup. The Holy Grail. He drinks into the skeleton.
Now, I forgot to say this. Yesterday, when I was doing the podcast for Son-in-Law with Paulie Shaw, you never guess who popped up in it as a cameo. I mean, obviously Brendan Fraser's in it as Link from California Man or Encino Man. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers popped up as a tattooist. He was just in Back to the Future fucking 2, and it's quite funny that.
I'd imagine he's the type of person who'd probably popped up in a bunch of stuff. You just don't really pick it up because obviously even back in the day you would think.
Because wasn't Tank Girl in one of those? Was it? And you mean now, isn't it?
Tank Girl was off its tits.
Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, yeah. She's in the army now. Tank Girl.
Petty. Petty, I think. Lola Petty, I think her name is. Goddamn bears.
It's very brownish bear for the desert.
The black bear.
Oosh! Through the fence. Pan up, and it's...
That went down here. There's Crispin Glover. I mean, Mike McFly.
Seamus
McFly.
He does alright, Michael J. Fox, on that. You know, I mean, don't get us wrong, he's Parkinson's disease. We're not even touched on that in any of the commentaries, but like, he did that, and he did Frighteners as one of his best films and all that, but like, he's only in a handful of movies, isn't he?
Yeah, he hadn't done a huge amount. But he did that TV show though, didn't he?
Oh, he's done a lot of TV stuff.
He was on that for a long time, so like when I come to series like that, that's taking up all your time and anyway.
He was in Scrubs as well, wasn't he, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is when everyone. This is when he started noticing. He's starting shaking and stuff like that on set. Apparently, like the third one. Mr. Eastwood, sir.
I mean, he's great. He's always been open about it and raised a hell of a lot of awareness for it. I mean, my godfather's got Parkinson's disease, and like, I see him now and again, and like, you know, he's always pleasant. You know what I mean? And he's like, you know what I mean? He's got all the time in the world for everyone, and you know what I mean. Some people, you know, like, you know, live with it and get on with it, and I think that's what Michael J. Fox has done. Like, so again, he still does all the conventions. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, I always wanted to read his book, his biography, but never had a chance.
I know there's been a lot of criticism about obviously Tim Curry. Tim Curry's the last couple of years after his stroke he had or something. He's pretty much wheelchair bound, and he's been doing a lot of private fun like signings and all that. And I remember seeing somebody kicking off and saying this is not very good, and like, like how are you, man? He's like, you know what I mean? It's just like a T in a line. Do you know what I mean? What more do you want? It's kind of vultures.
Yeah. Well, it was the same with Stan Lee. I mean, there was a video in a comic convention, and this bloke must have had about maybe 15, 20 different items to sign. And then you could see he was having arguments with people because in all fairness, in respect to what's going on, it wasn't a good enough signature on one of them. It was very much a line, a squiggly line, and that was it. And to be honest with you, you know, when they're paying as much, you do want a certain service, but my gripe is notwithstanding, he had a reputation that he would never say no to anybody, but to me it was the family, it's the estate, who were absolutely dripped him dry. So it comes down to the people who was in charge of them, really. I feel like as soon as you're not able to actually provide a service, someone needs to step in and say, come on.
Were those little bullets and the rabbits?
Aye, buckshot, aye.
Buckshot,
I just thought he just had like metal. I don't know.
No, like I agree with it. It's kind of like, it's like when I met Feldman and stuff like that, I chose stuff that, you know, I had meaning for and stuff like that, but I didn't want to take up too much of his time. But then you're right there, Carl, a guy like going up there with all them items, he's not going to fucking go home standing, he signed all that shelf, he's going home to fucking eBay. Do you know what I mean?
That's it, exactly, yeah. After all, like, when you see people like queuing up, you can tell someone had like a figure or a Captain America shield or something like that, whereas this guy had like so much, it was like clearly within the business.
What do you think about Michael Jukebox's accent in this anyway? Is that Irish one?
Sing by that future. Yeah, it is a bit comical, but like I say, I think with the way the film has kind of portrayed itself, it allows itself to make fun of itself. You know, we're not watching it truly trying to think that Seamus is a big character here. We know that it's just an alternative version, so we can show you the McFly timeline.
As like how like I said, it's only a small cast of people, but they do the family so well. You kind of know the legacy of each family now, don't you? Really.
Absolutely.
McFly's and the Tannins and the Browns.
Connected.
I still think the set's pretty good for the Western town. It's still pretty good. It's like Tombstone, but you know, it's pretty good.
No, I mean, like I say, this is very kind of what it would have been like, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's, I mean, have you guys seen Deadwood?
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Really good show, that, yeah.
I'm going to see Deadwood in the morning when I wake up.
Whee!
Hey,
Slap me in your dick.
I was not about that.
Speaking of which, Meat Market.
Aye. The music's pretty good actually. As the festival does a good job spinning it around to like a western. You can tell they've actually had fun in this film, can't you? The production design, you know,
totally.
everything.
Notice that says A. Jones on the manure hole.
Yeah. Surprised Carl's not walking around in there somewhere in the background.
He's walking the wrong way, Carl. Hey, well, I'm going to the town hall now, again this way. I'll go my own path.
Goddamn stinky Lomax. It's not worse than that kind of guy.
Must be about 3 seconds ahead of me.
Or give it a pause then. No, give it a pause. 1.
Jump in the horse shit.
Makes sense, yep.
He just realised he's in horseshit.
Yep. We should be NSYNC together.
NSYNC.
NSYNCed. Baby, bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye.
Bye, Paul.
Swinging saloon doors. Well, there, see that tree line behind? That almost looks like the typical Hollywood tree line, that, you know, which you see.
Yeah.
Mainly because I have seen that tree line, but that looks like the same tree line as like the Burbs and stuff. That era, there's a lot of space back there, especially where they build. I mean, you could probably find out. You guys are the internet guys. Find out where it was filmed.
America, so yeah, straight away, I think. Probably America, yeah.
One of the cowboy guys goes, "Oh, I'm not sure, you know, they're probably one of the guys gambling or whatever." One of the voices that is from like Disney films and stuff like that. I don't know what his name is now, but he's got proper boys. One goes Mr. Eastwood, and he's got like a weird voice. Playing poker now, or whatever it is now. Anyway.
Oh, he's from the Gremlins, the guy with the white beard, isn't he? He's from the Gremlins when he's just like, that'll do it alright. He gets his hand fucking bitten in the letterbox. That looks like him.
I don't think so.
Well, do you want to check? Because it might be.
No.
Yeah.
I love it how it's...
Well, I'm looking at locations, and let's see. The Indian charge was Arizona. Hill Valley 1885, Jamestown, California.
He's actually awesome actor, like Thomas F. Wilson does a really good job.
Are any of them the goons from the original? None of us.
No, I don't think so.
As I say, Billy Zane was off in Twin Peaks.
What kind of name was that?
I wonder what the reason for the other two not coming back was then.
No 3D glasses in 1885.
That's a good point.
That guy with the white beard, he's in the Gremlins. Can someone check that? I'll have a check, actually. I've got my laptop here. Hang on, I'll have a look. I know
It should be very difficult without at least a name.
Well, hang on, I'll get
The
there.
Gremlins, man. The Gremlins, you know, the Gremlins.
The old man, the Gremlins.
The Gremlins.
I'll get there.
Red Dog. That's my name on Red Dead. Mad Dog Ray 1.
Damn.
I love how he does, how he instinctively does like a moonwalk.
Yeah. It so it keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
Spitting buckets.
But no, the thing is, if you just check it back before, there wasn't a piece of wood from the flooring hanging up like that bad. It was only when he did the jump, it was there.
Oh yeah.
Is that all three films got a Michael Jackson reference then?
Yep.
What about the first one?
I'm going to say the second one he was on the telly.
And then the kids' wall. He was everywhere. This one is that one. I don't think he's in the first one.
To be honest, it'd be hard to sell him in the first one because a lot of it was set in the 50s and he wasn't around then, was it? So maybe he's not.
I'm just trying to think about 1985 scenes. No?
Yeah.
Unless you cover the power of love. The power of love is killing me. Apparently, you know the bit where they had to hang him. He was actually nearly like
Yeah,
probably
probably
by
was
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do
Maybe
remember
they died.
reading that Mad Dog, the guy did all of his horse stunts. Apparently, like, he can ride a horse really well.
Yeah. There's something wrong with the hanging stunt, and he was nearly died. We're gonna get all hanging, boys. That must be dead scary. That like as like an actor, like.
Oh, I mean, like I say, when you think of like, there's loads of stuff like that, like in Expendables 3, didn't Jason Statham nearly die?
I drove the car, didn't he?
I drove the car into like a nearby like key. I want that gun.
Right, so Mr. Anderson, who is seen throughout the movies, also in the bank, in the Gremlins, who died in 2012, is known for Gremlins,
No way.
Tombstone, and Back to the Future Part 3. So fuck yous, I win that one. Haha!
I let you have that one. Was he not in The Matrix?
I'll have a look.
Was not all going crazy.
Anderson.
No, fucking hell, he didn't act for a while, actually.
No.
He's in The Exorcist 3.
The Heretic.
He was in The Mask. Not the mask, the one with Rocky
Stop.
Jennison.
Mint.
So he hasn't done that many, but yeah.
I think the lesson to learn here is that we probably shouldn't doubt Mason that much.
But it's fun when we do, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you spend an hour and a half
convinced by the Gophers. You know.
The Beaver people are real.
I gave you Spielberg instructions not to come back for me here.
They haven't done the pop vinyl range of the third film yet, have they?
Nah. Don't think they've done any marketing for the third one, like in a more recent attempt, like Neck or anyone like that. So this is now the Doc Brown from 85. No. 55.
Yes, this is from Back to the Future 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about, like, when we were talking about stuff on YouTube the other day and, like, royalties and all that, just appearing at the side of my screens there, right, is this 50 Dead Actors Hollywood. And it's got 392,000 reviews. It's got adverts and that. So, Bill Paxton, yep, he's dead. Robin Williams, definitely dead. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Leonardo DiCaprio are definitely still alive. And that's the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck off, man. Videos like that should be just taken down. It's not YouTube.
I just love it like that. Big Mass Invention's just doing one thing just to make some bloody ice.
Yeah.
She could put something else.
Hey, not easy to get by in those days, you know. Yeah, haven't got any fridge freezers.
You ever seen the Harrison Ford film, Mosquito's Coast?
No.
He makes an ice machine,
Coast.
and he moves to the Amazon, and he gets that
Oh,
board.
that's the one you were telling me about.
It's fucking
I
mint.
was wondering about that. I never got around to watching it, but yeah, I remember you recommending that was. So, as a recap of the financial status of this trilogy, so if we go from the first one, as a recap, we'll say its budget was 19 million, and it ended up making $381,109,762. Then, when we go to the second one, it was boosted up to a massive 40 million, and then came away with $331,950,002. Don't forget those two.
So the budget was, how much was it? 19 million for Back to the Future 3? 19.
So 19 was for Back to the Future 1,
Right.
and 40 was for Back to the Future 2,
Yeah.
and it was 40 million for this one as well, but this
Oh,
one made a little bit
Wow.
less. Yeah, this one made a bit less, so this one only came away with $244,127,000. I think, like I say, they knew it was coming to an end, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously the cost as well. I mean, you went from the first one being 19 million to 40.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the
Obviously,
second one is a good film.
the special effects really wasn't it for the
It was all the special
obviously was for the sets and stuff.
I don't
That's a lot of
know,
money.
but the sets cost that much money.
Hang on, it depends though. It depends what budget paid the actors, because at the end of the day, the actors would have had to get a paycheck for both films straight away. So that might
They
warrant.
would have gotten higher and higher as the film progressed, because you can't.
Well,
have
no,
a
they would
feature.
have got a deal for this. Because they made them back to back, so they would have had to lock them
Yeah.
down. One of the most famous things for people getting not locked down was when James Cameron wrote Aliens, and he wrote the movie, and like no one had even approached Sigourney Weaver. They paid for the script, and then there was hell on because hang on, there's no one talked to her. So she got £1 million for accepting it, because the whole production was based around her coming back. And then she got extra content because Sigourney Weaver's notoriously known for not liking guns, and she would have to hold guns. So she literally, studios after that didn't really fuck around, you know what I mean? Because contracts by this point were becoming, it wasn't just contracts for other things, it was more like Macaulay Culkin talks about it a lot, the contract systems around this era were getting all messy, but then getting all straight and narrow, because when you were signing on for a movie, you now had video games, merchandise. This wasn't a thing in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s. It was like, you know what I mean? The conventions went around you, but it was all about like, they were just putting your face on everything and it was a clause in your contract. You were like, oh.
Yeah. And also, if you think about it, they're not filming in the square, they're filming outside the square. So obviously that would cost a little bit more.
Well, this is their sport, but I more talk about contracts and that, but yeah. Marketing would have been big, I'd imagine, yeah.
I mean, again, going back when you're making a third movie, once again, by this point, everyone's seen Back to the Future 1 because it's now, VHS is now a massive thing. And, like, everyone's going to see, you know what I mean? But again, when, the problem as well, when you bring two films out really close like this did, Back to the Future 2 was probably not even out on VHS at this point. It was probably coming out. But again, you've just got to remember...
Westerns also, I think they were dying off, weren't they? From the 70s.
Oh, I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be love for westerns for some strange fucking reason. Like, I mean, Tarantino going back, it did recharge it, but like, again, they're not as cheaply easily made as people think now because you can't get the suits and all that. You know what I mean? It's all the costumes. That's where you're going to spend your money in that, and then you've got the authenticity and stuff like that. That's why you get a lot of film work down Beamish College, you know what I mean? Because like it's very anyone who writes a period drama now, just like, right, it's a novel, that's it. If you're going to pursue to put that into a film, fuck me, you're going to spend some money on that, like.
Yeah. Did they film the Gambling Man down there, the Captain Cookson one?
Well, pretty much almost all of Captain Cookson's have some form of Beamish in it. But the thing is, it's like the biggest thing, which it might be something in the future. That might change it because when they came and did it was ITV, they did a morning show, and when they came over they hadn't done any work with us for a lot of years, and like the lassie who was in charge, she would like take them back. She said she had no idea how big we'd get over the years, and it was the same with there's a film that hasn't been done, like released yet. Which was done on Beamish, but obviously we had the 20-minute feature in Downton Abbey, the Christmas special. No, sorry, that was I think we ended up having like a 12-minute feature in the Christmas special, but then they did the Downton Abbey, the movie, and we were going to go 20 minutes on that.
Are you in it?
No, they get people paid for that.
The extras, man.
It would be easier work, but like I say, you got people who are contracted as extras.
It's not that, guys. It's fucking unions and shit, man. It's fucking weird. Extras, man. Like, I had to deal with a lot of extras in Bulgaria, and you just get sent, and I'm like, I remember speaking to the guys, like, can you not send people who look British? And he went, well, what do you mean? I mean, they've got all kinds of, like, not that. It's the fact that they turned up with all Bulgarian t-shirts on and stuff. I'm like, you guys are meant to be on a bus to like in Middlesbrough. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you kind of come dressed for the part. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm fucking running around for wardrobe and shit.
Middlesbrough, that's what you're about. I've seen it. The awesomeness chainsaw. I've got to say this chase is pretty good. The camera angle's absolutely amazing. Behind Doc chasing Clara. I'm sure she could have stopped it by now. She's whipped him that many times.
Well, now they've spooked, haven't they? So, once the horse spooked, it's hard to get him back. So, what do you reckon Michael J. Fox came away with for his salary for the first Back to the Future film?
Not much.
I would say less than $1 million.
Not even that.
300,000.
300,000? You're going to take a
guess? No. I would say 60.
60,000?
Yeah.
Oh, you should have gone with your gut, mate. You came over with 250,000.
Anyway, I'm trying not to go pick up these days.
Now, because obviously this was filmed back to back, what do you think you got for Back to the Future 2 and 3 together?
$1 million.
You think $1 million?
750,052 pounds.
So, obviously, by the trusty world of Google, his salary for each of those movies was $5 million. That's a 20 times increase over his salary for the original film. Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3 grossed 180 million and 88 million in US dollars respectively. So you gave it like a chunk every chance. Like,
How
if you
much?
make a film for 5 million, you wouldn't want to work again, would you? I would just retire, I'd be done. Done, that's it.
It's amazing what they actually do with all the money and where it goes. It's fucking crazy when you hear like Wesley Snipes going bankrupt and you're like, how the fuck did that happen? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the time they're trusting accountants and stuff like that.
Oh
A lot of
yeah.
people do that the wrong way because obviously they don't want to think about it. They just want to save their money, look after it, and of course
How much
naturally
did
some people
Christopher Lloyd there?
Christopher Lloyd. Let's have a look.
Look at that.
Christopher Lloyd should have got paid exactly the same.
Well, you would think that, but let's have a look.
I think 2 for Christopher Lloyd.
So, Back to the Future 1985, American Science Fiber. It doesn't say it. For some reason, Michael J. Fox has got a whole page on it, so he maybe didn't make as much.
Don't worry, Clara. I gotta say, the Western houses are so nice.
Like I say, they were, it's like really well built. Probably wouldn't have. Fox's Mike McFly, Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, Travel to the Future, Back to the Future Part 2. The movie made 1.65 million at domestic box office. Where, let's see, just telling me how much it made rather than how much they made.
He might not have said anything, could maybe have just been a bit lower.
Yeah.
He should have said what.
Well, what do you think his net worth is? I've got that, so we'll give you something to make up for it. So, what do you think Christopher Lloyd's net worth today is?
Not much.
I would say over 100 million.
What about you, Mason?
It just depends. I wouldn't say it was that much because don't get us wrong, he's making a living now off doing the conventions. Like, he's always on the songs. I don't know. Maybe he's
His net worth
35.
35. His net worth today is 40 million.
No,
Right. Well done. How much is MJ Fox's?
MJ Fox.
That's how
I reckon he's going to be higher. So, if you think about it, not in a harsh way, but obviously he hadn't really been anywhere or done anything really to spend it, if that makes.
well, he has. It doesn't work.
Then that's the best it, don't it? Really?
Yeah.
After that, pick my net worth, will you?
So what do you think his net worth would be?
That's 60.
60, Mason?
Nah, in the 20s, down below.
20? Do you think it's lower than Christopher Lloyd?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you almost got it. 65 million.
Alright. Then, good check Paul
Surprising.
Ray also. What is this? Fiber. But to pay all the bills off. I love how intricate these models are. Down comes a machine!
Well, that's one of the reasons, you know what I mean? They get these big houses and all that, and then all the tax comes into it, and like the bills come into it, and like you think, hang on, I do not own this house, and like, well, you know, you got to pay like again, it's just mental. It's just some mental things like.
Kids.
Nicolas Cage is. Have you seen his trailer for his new one, man? He's off his fucking tits, that guy.
He's only doing it for
Wonderland or something.
Yeah.
But credit him, like he's using what he's got to get back to.
He's working.
Normal, could I say? He's only doing all this to pay off all of his debt, you know, and that's all due to marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then also Seagal was with the gangsters and the mob, wasn't he? So he went to Russia.
Right, so he ended up losing all his money to them. Mental. Like I say, the more money you got, the more problems you've got.
Definitely.
More money, more problems.
Can I buy the flamingo for £1.50? No, because the postage is 70 pence. I'm not buying that then. You definitely went there, Carl.
But it's like that infamous, that meme that always pops up, the winner it's like, something's £1.50, They'll charge 50 pence postage, or you can buy £2 with free postage. I'll go for free postage.
Honestly, like, I've just got Prime free for 30 days. There's so much stuff on there. I'm like, that's not bad. Get it tomorrow. I was like, I don't need it. I don't need this. I don't need that. I was like, damn it, I'm going to cancel it soon because it's just stuff on there I don't even need or want. Just because
Prime's tricky though because Prime's tricky though because the thing is you get your free postage and you get your next day delivery and stuff like that, so that can come in really handy. But a lot of the stuff is not included. So, like for example, I went on the other day because I've only just signed up to it again for the 30-day trial. Yeah. But you look at it and go, there's a film I want to watch. You click on it. So it's like it's not like with Netflix or Disney Plus. Yeah. If it's on
and the quality's not good either. Prices. Like I've seen it. I've got Prime, and there's a lot of stuff on Prime that doesn't play in sync or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
If you go to the app and on Prime, if you go to Fire Stick on the app and it says free to me, everything's on there. But yeah, it's so complicated, like. But yeah, to be honest, the shipping's pretty good, like. But anyway, Back to the Future free. Before
I was gonna say, I'm curious. I'm gonna have to look it up now. I'm gonna go to see what Thomas F. Wilson got. I don't think he got as much, but
no.
It'll be curious.
Bit of a shame because he's an awesome actor. How much did ZZ Top get anyway?
Oh, he's in the millions probably.
ZZ Top.
Easy. I get it, ZZ.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that popped up was his net worth, so Mr. Thomas F. Wilson's net worth to this day is 4 million. 4 million? Wow. Aye. Yeah, but he's probably still earning off that in the future though.
Yeah, he also does art stuff, like art pictures and stuff. Oh yeah, it's a famous picture from the trailer.
That's Dean Cundy, That's hey, shut up you! That's Dean Cundy, the photographer.
So you're a car?
No, I'll just shut up. I was interested. I'll just shut up on this podcast that it requires talking. But no, I'll just shut up.
Dean Cundy.
I was interested in the mechanics of photography. Sorry.
Dean Cundy is the guy who does the director of photography.
Shut up, nobody cares.
I'm sorry, because we're going to talk about their photograph of a photograph, I know, and the way that the cameras work. So yeah, I'm interested in all this history stuff. So it makes them look cultured. I mean,
I'm a 1913 photographer, you know. I thought I'd just give it a little bit of technology behind it.
The slates and the bulbs, and you have to sit and
fucking
stand there for like 5
grief you get
seconds.
on these podcasts.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sure, it's just a podcast.
Sex pest.
You won't get this with you Yankee Doodles.
Did we keep asking them what I've said?
That awkward thing out the dance there. What you do with your hands.
I was going to say, is it warrant to have a romance in this series? Because this is heavily based on Emmett's romance now, for the rest of the film. Obviously, even Michael J. Fox almost plays like second fiddle. Yeah. Because he's just trying to figure out where Doc's distracted by being in love. So I feel like that could be one of the reasons why this film doesn't stand up as well as the other two.
Wait, plus Elizabeth Shue's gone, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, to the end. It's it is Doc's story, but I suppose they had to do something different, and you know what I mean, never again. Sure.
Yeah, true. Well, here's the call back to the video game, innit?
Yeah, from that was sure. Dan, something that happens, isn't it, for good? Alright. Yeah, you just go like second fiddle, but they're supposed to have to do something different, didn't they?
They did, and I think they were right to go western. Because let's be honest, if you can go back and forth, there's not a great deal you could do.
I still think this should be the second one.
I totally agree with you on that one, mate.
It was almost
slowed-
revelation when you mentioned that yesterday. And the other day, I was like, that makes so much sense.
It would have slowed it down, and then the third one would be the future. It would be more interesting than this one.
Yeah, because they went back to the
your
future.
high and lows. Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
7-Eleven. I kind of wish we had a 7-Eleven.
I kind of wish I had a shop where the guy wasn't grumpy as fuck, man. The guy. Did I tell you guys about the guy who had the meltdown just before Christmas in the corner shop of mine? They got the post office saying, they're like, he's always fucking angry. His parents own the place. He's obviously good. I only get 250 quid a week working here. I'm like, right, calm down. And tells me about his troubles all the fucking time. That's a school teacher, isn't it?
That's
Yeah,
Bristol
yeah.
Live. Peabody.
Yeah. And I went in Christmas and like because of social distancing and all the queues, there's loads of queues and he went, it's not working! It's not working! Just started shouting at everyone. I'm like, fuck me, man, all I want to come in. Like, you can't go in there and like get a refreshing drink or like, who did not want to go into a corner shop and get a gallon of fucking juice? Do you know what I mean? And go out like with a proper like juice box and all that. Just don't get it over here. Bullshit.
Nah, yeah.
Actually, older. And Nestle does the other two. He's got a moustache and hair.
Because they had a long hair and a moustache, definitely.
See that? Discipline. You see? It's just
It's a clever way to use them.
Oh god, Keith, did you guys ever do country dancing in school?
I've done a couple of Keeleys, so not country dancing, but it's very much the same.
Who's Katie?
Yeah, Keeley.
I was talking about your sex life. I'm talking about dancing at school, like country dancing. It was awesome. I loved it. Nah, not really. The best thing about country dancing at school, you just had to have your trousers and your top on, obviously, yeah.
Why did you do country dancing at school?
Because I think we did. I think we just like. I think it was to get the two groups of sexes together, which was sexist. If you think about it now, you couldn't do it these days.
Mason, did you do any country dancing at school?
Nope. I don't know what Paul's talking about.
Nah. Yeah, but you one on me, like.
I am old, remember. I am 4 years older than you guys, or a bit more. And I did.
I was gonna say a bit more than that.
You know, when I was in school, what was out in school? Children of the Night and Freedom and all that, and everyone just running around going, da 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 da.
I was listening to that, actually.
So, Paul, was it really difficult to write on slipboards when you were a child?
I had a hoverboard. You know?
Oh, so you weren't just whacking your wheel down the garden way.
we had the TV on the trolley to bring in for Ori. All we did in Ori was watch films. And music lessons, we just watched musicals. It was awesome, yeah. Audition for Little Shop of Horrors for school, that was awesome. Obviously I didn't get it. My voice wasn't trained yet, as it is today.
No, where you've had a lot of time to get that raspy soul on you.
Yeah. I've been able to see no Crowbone for the past year and a half, that's why, to get into character. I'd rather take my $80 out on her.
Well, at least, like, he's gone a different direction in this film, because he's not now, like, raping Marty's missus. He's now just gone to
He's just dancing with a girl and having a gun and just trying to give her. But then she's a bit of a tomboy, though, isn't she? Just stick up for herself.
Ah, she's a bit of a... She's got some masculinity.
Oh, kick to the shin.
I damn you to hell.
Here comes the invention of
The frisbee. Even though it says frisbee on it.
Yeah.
You.
It's a great shot, that like.
Is that Freddy Krueger in the left there? Looks like a little Freddy Krueger you can see behind
You
Ben.
mean Robert Englund? No.
Yeah? To the left a little bit. I can
Look at
see
you
now.
trying to outdo me. Wasn't he in the last episode of Quantum Leap? No.
Wasn't he in the Gremlins?
No.
Shut up.
See now, is it the same as being called chicken? You know? Should he have that same reaction?
Like I said, it wasn't ever mentioned in the first one. It's only in the second one because of a car accident, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, was it mentioned in the first one?
Called me Yella. Nah, not that I know. I wonder what the history behind why is being yellow bad.
Because your captain's a yellow chicken?
Yeah, can't be, surely.
Yeah.
I like your confidence, but I don't like your theory.
I find your lack of big disturbing.
Origin of
The music's really good, right? I do like the theme in it. From Sylvester again.
Yeah.
Just a difference between me and Eastwood here. Oh yeah, ZZ Top, here we go. No, it was only really mentioned in the second film. The chicken thing.
Yeah, it's likely that it would have just been continued to be used because obviously for film back to back, so it was
Probably
still
put a special
fresh in
edition of the first one where it gets put in. You can't see sissies in movies these days, so that needs to get taken out. Go for it tonight, Marty. Oh my god, can you imagine trying to get a time machine getting pushed by a metro? Bloody hell.
Hopefully, I'm
Most
going.
unreliable service in the world.
Well, you're kind of right and you're not, Paul. So, it is not clear. Oh, shite.
Yep.
Oh, no. No, it's just, I swear to God, I'm going to stop watching things on my PlayStation. I've just knocked my controller off and it's like skipped and gone back to
Oh, it's a fucking worse. The PlayStations are mental because like X, you go to pause something, right? You press X and you get no, it's circle, but then you go to press circle and no, it's X. It just depending on what fucking Blu-ray it is.
Never.
Stop this podcast. Do start all over again.
No, hold on. They're offering to buy Marty a drink. Are we way past that?
He's just looking at himself.
He's just giving us the Cove Peacemaker.
No, he's standing talking to himself. They're
He's
walking.
Seamus.
They're walking with Seamus, yeah. Just walking, talking.
Walking with Seamus, alright.
And brother.
We've done it again.
It's fine, we have to start a podcast all over the beginning now.
And thanks, Carl.
No,
You had one job,
he's
Carl.
talking to... he's talking to Seamus still.
No, he's not now.
He's still talking to Seamus, Carl, yes.
Not for me.
Right, so the missus has just walked away from Marty McFly.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Well, I'm
Kind
up with Clara, looking at the moon.
Yeah.
The moon is so bad on that. The pixelation on that's terrible. Just have no moon.
And travelling, or God knew what they like this film.
After all that, yeah, being called yellow apparently refers to the chicken yolk. Chicken egg yolk.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you said chicken.
There's still chicken in it.
It's not a chicken one, it's a yolk. Not yet.
But, oh no. My mind's gonna go.
But which one came first?
The yolk.
Yeah.
I've just answered a million-year-old question.
A million years? That's a long time.
3 million years. Lister was in cryostasis in Red Dwarf.
That's true, yeah.
Outside.
I started watching the commentaries because I got the box set because the box set went down to 35 quid on Blu-ray, which is class. Like it's 1 to 8, and they've got loads of special features. And I started watching the commentaries, and the guy was like, "Yeah, this is how we came up with Red Dwarf. We went to see Dark Star at the pictures, came out, went to the pub, got pissed, and then ripped it off." And they're like, the guy was like, "Should we really be saying that on this commentary track?" And he's like, "Well, come on, man. It's been 30 odd years now. It's fine." Well, yeah.
Red Dwarf DVDs are still way better than the Blu-ray, or at least as much as I know. The DVD, not the quality of the program, but they had all the interactive menus. They had tons and tons of special features. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen any of the new ones. I've seen all of the originals.
The ones saved.
Yeah, I've seen all the originals, and then I watched that when they researched it again with that special.
Back to Earth.
With again, I watched that. I wasn't impressed with that. There's no room for Coronation Street in Red Dwarf as far as I'm concerned. And then like I didn't realise, like someone announced it a couple of weeks ago, like, oh, there's a new series again. I was like, how?
Yeah, I haven't watched it for quite a while. Like, but I do like the original BBC Two ones, like what Mason was saying, and the Smeggers.
Oh, I mean, like the original series is absolutely the Smeggers. It's like literally classic.
Is that a bum stunt double for Metal J Fox? Do you think? That's when 30 million went on this for a bum stunt double.
Stunt cock.
I reckon that's his bum cheek leg.
You would do this though, wouldn't you?
Everyone would, yeah.
Yeah, they would, yeah. I'm doing it right now. Nobody else around. Awesome. I always love movies where I have to hide the camera just because I have like the mirror on the angle.
Oh, the blocking of it, aye.
Yeah, the blocking, yeah. That's what I'll be like too, with me hand and me belt and stuff. Always wanted a cigar, like a Hannibal Smith from the 18.
Oh god, like you just have to have one cigar and be sick, and you never touch them again. Fucking hell.
I know, but I just want to like it go. I love it when a pan comes together. I don't know, I'll just get rid of it.
I love a regular cigar, like, but I know my mate brought some really proper massive, thick, gangster style one back, and literally we're all like literally dying by the end of the night.
And Independence Day also. We've got cigars on Independence Day. I heard no fat lady saying, "You're obsessed with a fat lady." I love Independence Day.
So apparently, Mary Steenburgen was...
Mary Steenburgen? What? Who were talking about burger?
It's Steenburgen? That's her name?
I was Steenburgen? Steenburg?
Bergen?
Bergen,
yeah, Steenburgen. Apparently the role of Clara was written especially for her, which I kind of get. She's got that arrogance in that role of like, this is and probably why she's on the front cover over Tannen. But
we ain't having Tannen on the front cover because that's me taking him Back to the Future.
Guy looks like Wes Bourne in that. The Undertaker looks like Wes Bourne from Limp Bizkit. He fucking totally does.
I like how Doc's hat still has a bullet hole in.
Oh, it's all about continuity. I never see that word.
Continuity.
That's the one, huh?
My God, I've actually corrected someone and saying something. Yeah, makes a change for me. Can it spell it like? L-I-K-A?
Nah, just let my phone do it.
I don't let my phone do it in case you guys see my messages when I send to you guys.
Oh, Christ. You get a letter and
Paul,
every time you use
you're the fucking worst. You're the worst for sending a message there instantly. Paul Ray has deleted the message. You're so bad at it. Like, what's he said? It's just like...
It's because
it's getting to a point now where I can decipher it, because if you put an E, I know you're meant to put an E or an R, because I just look at where the number is. I think, where's his finger gone? That should have been a T.
And it's all, and then after the sentence, it's always FML. You know what I mean? For my phone, it's a pain in the ass, man. And plus, half the time I'm out in the rain, or I'm covered in rain, or say this bit's almost down for me. This film, like,
I think it's a really slow film. Really slow.
Compared to the second one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, like, that's the way you look at it, because the first one was an experiment. The second one, they knew the formula worked, so therefore they had as much fun as they could get with it. And then with this one, like I said, I feel like they needed to go something completely different, but it was also how to round it up.
Yeah. If I wanted to watch old men try and, you know, like, fall in love with women, I would just watch stuff on dating websites.
Oh my god.
When you talk about westerns, have you guys ever seen High Plains Drifter?
Eastwood one. Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched that.
Music from, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, I watched that now. I had a marathon of Eastwood ones anyway, and High Plains Drifters is a film that gave me such a bad head on high definition. When he paints the town red, and it's just like, you can't fucking look at the screen. It's like, oh, that's so hard to look at. I mean, that must have been the end of a set. And like, they must have said, right, we're knocking down the set, right, we'll fucking paint it red, because no one's ever going to use it again. Fuck me. Everything was red. I don't know.
I've noticed that Warner Brothers 70s Blu-rays, the colour is unbelievable on them, so bright. I remember watching Dirty Harry for the first time on Blu-ray. It was filmed yesterday. It's unbelievable, the quality on it.
Warner Brothers just seem to dish stuff out. I mean, they do seem to give them a nice little treatment. I mean, all them Stallone ones I've got in that box set, you know, I couldn't fault them. It's just, I don't like it when, I was going to ask you, Paul, actually, about this. Do you remember Hollywood Pictures?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's happened to them? Because, like, Son-in-Law was Hollywood Pictures, and they did a lot of movies back in the day, like, but the DVD quality was fucking shocking.
Yeah. It'd just be the budget and stuff spent on them and where they get the transfers from. Because if you look now, even like Back to the Future trilogy, like say it was 4K maths out, and then they've actually brought the Blu-ray out with a brand new transfer on it, which is a lot of companies should start doing now. I mean, instead of just giving like a normal version of it.
Yeah.
Because you may not want to spend 50 quid on the 4K, and you may only want to spend £15 on the Blu-ray, Blu-ray of the set. I mean, and you notice a picture quality straight away when I put the discs on. Just a massive Blu-ray of Back to the Future. It was amazing quality, like compared to the old version of it. And for 15 quid for 3 films, 5 quid a film. Think about it that way.
Mm.
But yeah, it just depends how to do the transfers and stuff, and how much money you want to spend. That's why you get stuff like Fabulous Entertainment picking up, like, I think the Harry Henderson's like going to be Fabulous Entertainment, but it put the prices up.
Oh, yeah, because The Dragon came out not long before lockdown.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell, I just watched that the other week. I was talking to Casper about it. I says, do you know that's directed by Rob Cohen, who did Fast and Furious? He went, is it? And I was like, you buying it? He went, no. He turned it around. I was like, fuck right off. $17.99 for a brand new Blu-ray with fuck all extras. And I'm like, fuck me.
Universal just went, oh, there you go. And I've done that a few times now, like, with certain films.
Well, a couple of the Van Damme's a weird one, right? Because like 88 Films has been bringing a lot of Van Damme films out lately, and they're going to continue doing a few more. And they're giving them like commentaries, extra features, any sort of slipcases. And then all of a sudden, Sudden Death and Hard Target, whoever they were through originally, Universal, they came out ridiculously priced, fuck all on them. You're like, why? Why did you do that?
Like I said, it's through Fabulous, isn't it? It's through that Fabulous Entertainment, people who just buy the rights and bring them up. Ted, that's another one.
Oh.
DVD was $17.89, and I nearly passed out. I went next to it was the original Universal one for £2.49. Now nearly passed out.
I've actually
just
got
the rights on.
Well, I've got Ted 1 and 2 on Blu-ray now, and I got them for I think £2.70 brand new on Blu-ray because they were in clear out prices, and on the shelf they were back there at bloody $15.99 each. I was like, fuck right off.
Well, yeah.
And then companies like what we work for, Paul, without naming anything, obviously you're like, oh fucking hell, it's cheaper on Amazon. Okay, well clearly you're not in with the loop of what's going on distribution wise. We don't like we're the ones like we said we'll stock the product. It's the supplier who decides to put it sky high. Do you know what I mean? Because of margin protection.
But
like,
how much has the supplier bought that rights off Universal for? I mean,
well, it's almost like
I always notice the same with the company, of course, where you work for. Concussion, Will Smith. That was always on the shelf. You'd always have the steelbook in, and it was always like 30-odd quid. And it's like, this was released ages ago now, and I was like, Christ, that price hasn't come down at all. And then I found it on online. It was like something like maybe £11 off, and I was like, that can't be right. It was a bargain.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's not even that great of a film. I just could never see myself spending 30 quid on it.
Did you get a concussion thing about it?
I nearly did, mate, actually.
It's a woman, isn't it? It's always about a woman.
Well, it's already been a scene on, but anyone want to venture a guess on which part Michael Winslow sounded in this film?
No way. Is it the bit with the DeLorean on the metal thing?
No, it's actually not. It's I'll give you a clue. It was with Michael J. Fox.
I can't remember it.
It was well, I say a breakdancing sequence where I'm assuming it means a moonwalking sequence.
What does that sound?
I can't think of it. He must have done like the sound effects for the guns. Cause I can't. There isn't a breakdancing sequence, is there, in this film?
No. It's shut up, man. It's not. There's a moonwalking. It's like that or something like that, isn't he?
This is what happens when you tell her to shut up, because I literally just said that. I literally just said it was obviously it must have been the moonwalking sequence, because it is a breakdancing sequence in this film. I'm assuming that's how they worded it for some reason.
And then obviously under his breath he goes, he does like the kind of like a groany kind of thing, or it could be his shoes squeaking on the.
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
yeah.
Tell you what, like I might just end up shutting up.
Hello, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason, and welcome to It's Just a Shut Up podcast with featuring Paul Ray screaming "Shut up."
Welcome to the podcast where you're not allowed to talk, and if you do, you get told to shut up.
They've got interesting facts about cameras from 19. My God, he's a warrant.
I love how the fact that he's like, how many had? Shut up and have that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'll be like these days.
But it's almost at the end of this one, like, isn't it? I mean, this is one of the longer ones.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I always remember that the ending to this was drawn out so long. It might not be the case when I watch it now, but I always remember that train sequence being way too long.
Yeah, you still got these another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You mentioned the film title. I love when films do to the Mick of it. He goes in Peter Griffin goes in the pictures, goes, I love it when they say the title of a film. And he goes, I'm Superman 4, a principal piece. On this, you know, I love it. I love when they mention the film. I'll go back, buddy. Oh, that's crazy, like, isn't it? It looks so painful.
Yep.
Major, that's a job I would love. I mean, because obviously that's what you kind of do, isn't it, Carl? I mean, like an actor. I'd love to do
I am not an actor, sir. I will stress that. As there's been many mistakes when people have said that we're actors. We are engagers. We are essentially just walking encyclopedias.
I mean historians. I meant acting.
Yes. Wearing a costume in a early 1900s theme is what I do.
I would have to do the Western one though.
Well, you know, it's one of those weird things, isn't it? Because I think it would make money, but I don't see the sense in why anyone would start, let's just say, a Beamish-esque Western kind of thing. Because obviously they're in America all over the place, so really popular. but it's just not our history, so it just doesn't make sense.
Have you pressing down in 5 minutes? And the mirror.
Tell you what though, the way the UK is now going to have been has proven with lockdown, the amount of people that probably think the Wild West happened over in the fucking Lake District, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, where the fuck's it at? Like, where was the Wild West? Torquay? No, you fucking idiot.
Oh, that poor guy gets hit by the door when he comes out to the left. And again, when Metal J. Fox comes out and hits him in the face.
To be honest, that's more of an accurate reaction to what I'd have if someone puts like even a single jalapeno on my pizza or something like that. I cannot deal with hot stuff like.
I want some hot stuff, baby, this evening.
Yeah, you'd probably put hot sauce on your balls, you poor Ray.
Except for some street thing. Yeah, you're right.
That's so bright, that dress, compared to everything else.
They've definitely improved the technology of someone talking to himself, like, haven't they? A lot more.
Oh yeah, the lighting on him and all that's class. Like, but again though, if you look at that shot, the wall is the defined line there to the mid. So long as he's standing briefly around there.
My new ones were in the dark, weren't it? You in his word. Why are you? You're right. The end of the film's dead. Like, it's good, but it's really like long.
Yeah.
So you got this, you got dark, then you have to go through a train. Then after that, it's like Lord of the Rings, so it's got like 3 different endings. Where you go like Return of the King. Oh, it's finished, but he's had to leave the cinema. Oh no, it's still on. There's another ending. Right, it's finished now. And he's time to go back out. Oh no, there's another ending.
I think it's one of those things where the timer doesn't quite add up either. It's like, oh my god, we've only got 3 minutes to go, but it's like a 10-minute scene.
And you're it's a case of watch of it.
Oh, absolutely, every time.
I didn't yell it, I've got a freaking ending. You got him in the car, haven't you? Oh my god, yeah. Jesus. Like Revenge of a Sith, but it's like that's it.
Revenge of the Sith was awesome. You know, there's someone like posted a video of them, Obi-Wan and Anakin like training.
Yeah.
I use the character's name. And that's one thing I think you kind of take for granted, because I even remember watching that for the first time thinking, it's a little too choreographed. Like, it looks like you know every single move that's coming. But if you compare that with any other lightsaber battle that we've seen since, it's like, I think I'd go back to choreography.
Yeah.
And the effort that went into it as well, because they were so good at what they were doing, considering like, obviously they had to like basically go up from scratch.
Manga, yeah, of Morty, like, his heart going up to reveal his face. Some good shadow in there, I like it.
I already got a gun. I love how he can't count though.
Yeah. Is he unrecognizable also as the Thomas Wilson?
You wouldn't have thought it's the same guy. I mean, he's just like mud all over his face all the time. I mean, surprised that didn't get banned a couple of years ago when that was kicking off.
See, each word's the most yellowest, trickiest person in the West.
Bonked on the head.
Yeah, some action, thank God for that.
It has been dragging like.
It's a good job you've seen the film that was, what film was it again? Good Bad Ugly.
Oh god, I remember, like, I got that The Man with No Name trilogy and I watched the first two, And I was like, right, I'll just stick that on. And hours later, I was like, when's this kind of fucking finish? And I looked and it's nearly on for 2.5 fucking hours. I was like, Jesus.
Mind you, though, what do you think of Justice League now being a 4-hour film opposed to being a miniseries?
I've only seen I've only seen Justice League the once. I've only seen Batman v Superman the once. It's not really, it's messy.
It doesn't have a 4-hour formula. There's just no way it could be a great film, but that film will not work as 4 hours.
The only way that film works is 4 hours if they put Aquaman movie in there and go, right, that's Aquaman's origin story. Because that's what they should have done. They should have waited with that movie. Aquaman was a good direction, but it was just too fucking late.
Yeah. And they're sticking with Snyder, which I know is a bit of a controversial thing, but I just don't rate him that much. He just, a lot of his stuff is very stylized, but he just doesn't work well with companies. They literally, Warner Brothers said that's not the Justice League we want with your make. And it's all well and good giving directors leeway and saying do what you want to do, but the man, he put too much in one thing. He did the same with Watchmen. So he just piles everything into one thing, and it's just it looks messy and concluded. That
dress fucking stands out a mile. Another film I thought was very seen at the same time as this was American Tail, Fievel Goes West, because that was a whole Western thing. So it was a bit of loads of hype around Westerns, because it wasn't that long after that Unforgiven came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, true.
So it was a bit of an era of resurgence of Westerns then.
But you had Young Guns as well, which had also just been announced for a third one.
Everyone's dead except for Emilio Estevez.
You don't know that though, and even history will tell you that.
So, 1990 we had Total Recall, Tremors, Flatliners, Robocop 2, Craft of 1999, what else have we got? Arachnophobia, Misery, Problem Child, Ghost, Miller's Crossing, Kindergarten Cop, Darkman, Lord of Flies remake, Pretty Woman, Cry Baby, Home Alone, Dick Tracy, Memphis Belle, Edward Scissorhands, Rocky 5, Witches, Die Hard 2, Gremlins 2, Free Men Little Lady, Quick Change, Neverending Story Part 2, Air America, Troll 2, classic.
Troll!
Neil Bogg. I love this little laugh he does here.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing that he did in the second one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, going on Westerns, there was even more, because Kevin Costner, you had Wyatt Earp, Tombstone, The Quick and the Dead. So, the early 90s, there was quite a resurgence. So Back to the Future, to give it credit, was ahead of that sort of resurgence of Westerns.
Yeah. Wild West.
Wild West, that was at the end. That was way too late.
Jump West.
What did you think of Denzel's Magnificent Seven?
I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Oh, the remake?
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
Tut.
I've got the Steelbook if you're interested, Carl.
I've got the Steelbook, and you know what it is? This is why I now have a habit of whatever I buy, I always watch it within the night or the second night I get it. Reason behind that is because I didn't do that with Magnificent Seven. I bought it from a shop that you obviously are affiliated with, and it was months and months have gone by. I totally forgot about it, and I thought, oh shit, I want to watch that. So I sat and watched it, and somewhere in the film, bang in the middle somewhere, it's like someone, as if you, a DJ had just taken the disc and just give it a bit of it's just for about maybe 30 seconds, the audio goes really bizarre, and I thought, bastard, what a bunch of robbers. Which is convenient because it's a Wild West.
It's supposed to look like now? Yeah.
So and I thought, there's no way I can get a return on that bad boy, is there? It'd be a month later.
Don't even make it now, man.
Well, no, it was one of those ones that I actually thought might have sold really well. But I don't think you got any now, but I think you'd had it on the shelf for a while, didn't you?
I think the normal version went down £2.49 in the clear out.
No.
I see Frank Mr. Eastwood. I'll trade it for a hat, I will. Aye. Well, do myself.
Oh, $12. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
It isn't on eBay.
Oh, them custom charges now, the import charges. I got a message today, like a final. Did I tell you on the other podcast the other day when I bought 2 American VHSs and then at the end it added £11 extra on? I was like, eh? And then they were like, oh, it's import charges. I was like, right, as long as I don't get a customs charge this end, I can maybe settle it and justify like these 2 VHSs I want for like maybe it's 15 quid each. And then I got a message this morning and said, your packages were Hermes. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Well, I bought, a little bit displeased, but I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pop Funko Focus.
Yeah,
I found it was a good deal. All 6 of them, and 60 quid for 10 a piece. That's a lot cheaper than other places. But I ordered it like mid last week, and I haven't heard anything. And on the website it says if you don't choose to get delivery, you can do pickup. And this is really bizarre because I went, oh, I wonder where to pick up, and it's actually 10-minute walk away from where I live. I thought, oh, that's interesting, so I bought them. And I hadn't heard for about 3 or 4 days, and I thought, the weekend it's probably slowed it down a bit. And then, of course, naturally, I gave him an email yesterday. He's like, oh yeah, just let you know, April O'Neil is due sometime this week, and the rest of them have been pushed back by their supplier somewhere between March and April. Oh, what a bastard.
They're terrible for that, like, you get this stuff from America, don't they?
Well, this is it,
But it's as bad as if you order on Zavvi and they take your money and it says quick buy, and then it's coming from California, and you think.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I've got another one. I've got a One Division, and it was buy now, and it will literally. I got an email about maybe 10 minutes after I bought it saying dispatched, awaiting dispatch, sorry, and took me money, and then obviously that's been like 3 days, and it's still apparently awaiting dispatch. But it's quick buy somewhere.
Yeah, so now in 2021, aren't they? You've got masks on?
Yeah, they say that, obviously.
I love that. Is this the stick up? No, it's a science experiment. No, it's
There's not many like you would think that they would got quite a little. They've definitely saved money on cast because like all the little extras and on people like a train driver there, you would think now you're looking back, it'll be somebody from somewhere or you recognise them from somewhere. It's almost like a faceless cast, isn't it? Apart away from them.
Yeah.
For the ending, it's really like long, isn't it? Like I said, it's got like 3 endings. You've had Mad Dog, you've got the train, you've got the car, you've got Doc coming back. Spoiler.
That was my job once upon a time, to jump off the train, run ahead, change the points.
Moment.
Back in the day.
Was this a Metro?
Yeah, in Newcastle. No, an 1813 locomotive engine.
Shut up, man.
Yeah. Replica, but you know.
I'm sure the original like Back to the Future train is actually in Universal Studios outside. Like it's actually in around the place. Because sometimes I watch those around Universal Studios. I'm sure it's the official one from the third one, isn't it?
Are those the same tyres from the 50s? Oh, they must die because they took them off, didn't they? Yeah. Never mind.
Stupid.
I should just shut up.
Shut up. Wait, it's a historian or something.
I like to think so sometimes. See, I know what he's doing there. You see, you're not getting all the interesting parts. I know what's happening. I know how the engine works.
You know, if Doc Brown only ever wanted was to pull the whistle, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the point? He shouldn't have made a time machine. He could have just went down the local, train station to the there. He didn't have to go through all of this stuff. So he can pull a train whistle.
Overachieved, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Comes Clara. God.
You really don't like Clara, do you?
I do, but it just drags the story down. It's like,
To be honest with you, I don't. I think I don't think she's a very likable character.
yeah. And then because I blame her for Marty and Doc not being together back in 1985 to see his time machine destroyed. And even his face, when he goes, "It's Clara," he goes, "Oh great." If you look at his face when he does that, even he's sick of her. Watch it when it comes up. It's she's on the train, and then he goes, "Oh great," and then that's where he passes the hoverboard out. But yeah, it's even he looks bored of her name. I mean, she could have stuck a train any time, couldn't she, and mucked up this experiment?
Well, I mean, should have stayed on the train. Would have saved us all this hassle.
I remember I had the VHS trilogy box set, and I had the fourth take was the making of the third film, like about the train, about the miniature and stuff like that.
Right.
Mason, I didn't say shut up to you,
I've actually just been to the toilet. Sorry,
Hey, you didn't even tell us. That's the rules of
Well,
the
Paul
podcast.
Ray was too busy shouting. I didn't want to get shouted at.
We were talking about the how the train works, but I thought you were enjoying it. I didn't realise that you weren't properly.
Killing out a turd while we're trying to learn history.
No, I just went for a wee.
Whoa.
Oh, you can tell that's a miniature. It's the smoke that lets the miniature down on that scene there.
Yeah, I noticed when the camera was ahead of the DeLorean, so it was looking like it was driving towards you. It looked very model, like.
I was just thinking, Mason, I was like, she's one of those characters that gets annoying, and the bit where Marty puts the hoverboard over, and he goes, "Oh, it's Clara," and even he looks sick of her. I think.
Well, like I say, if you think about the whole story, she just gets in the way, essentially.
Do you think that Doc would actually make it into the DeLorean if he just had to climb on top of it? Really?
I don't know, but do you honestly think Doc's got the energy to spawn children at that age?
Good question.
He's not that old, man. He's just got white hair. And Christopher Lloyd wasn't that old when he made this.
Yeah, Andy, you ready? You ready? Fuck off! Watch when it goes, watch. Your favourite bit in the film? Watch him. Great, whatever. That means he's just like, oh, whatever. He's just mucked everything up.
I mean, now that she knows he's a genius and a time traveller, she now
She's a love
she wants to give him a fanny. That's what she wants. A vagina.
I mean, he could constantly cheat her and go back in time and then just totally annihilate all knowledge of it. Why do you keep getting older? Well, you know. Fucking hell, it is dragging, I mean, even the train's slowing down with the movie.
It is. You're looking at the train speed, it's nowhere near what it should be going at. But if you buy the tyre, man, how a pet. Get your proper shoes on.
Get your Nike ones with a pump action on it, pump
action.
Aye, pump action, shoes, Nike had with air in
You want to be careful, you shouldn't try any pump action just in case.
And I'm now trying to do a Mason go to the toilet, but I'm not rude.
Shut up, man.
Well, you could just go without telling anyone. I mean,
You guys only know I went to the toilet because I told yous.
But classroom and something's not right, yeah, like.
Yeah, just yeah. Oh, here we go, the red log.
Oh, there's another thing on the thing here. 6 actors gone too soon. Dead. Macaulay Culkin. Thumbnail. Like, fuck off, man. And that's got 6.9 million views. I mean, if you had that video of Macaulay Culkin, like, oh, this website says I'm dead and getting paid to say I'm dead, he could sue them, couldn't he?
Well, he even admitted it 'cause, a few years ago when he went on Jimmy Fallon, and he was talking about, like, saying, because obviously before that he didn't do any social media whatsoever, and so, like, obviously Jimmy Fallon was like, well, do you ever hear any really weird stories about yourself, like, that you're not on social media? And he did actually say the most common thing is he gets so many, like, phone calls of his agent just saying, are you alright? I am alright, wasn't he? Why, what's the matter? Like, he said, oh, just the website said you died. I just want to double check. Like, alright, no worries.
Until you guys mentioned on the movie group, I know it's official because I know you guys have done your checks and stuff on things. And someone dies.
Oh, it looks so bad, that with her hanging, like, it looks shit.
Amazing. Oh, yeah, I was about to say something else.
I mean, with all the stunts out, this could be better than the second one, really. Just the sound effects from Paula? No, it is definitely the weakest one of all.
You were like, weakest link, goodbye. Oh, go.
Hey, that's an old thing now, man.
I know.
Oh, him going with the hoverboard with her is not looking very good at it.
No, it's not. Oh, it's
when I
not.
looked in the second film.
And how did he make a time machine from the train that crashed over the ravine with all this stuff? I know that was steam, but how did he make it all? Can I just do that with Morty there? Originally.
I don't know, but he definitely wasn't doing 88 miles an hour there, mate.
Next stop, Pino.
And nobody ever considers the cost of that, like. I mean, some company out there just lost his train.
Yeah.
And that's going to burn for days because the amount of wood that's on the back. Oh, that fake smoke looks horrible. Oh dear, nah. I didn't realise how bad that looks. Unless it's
The fake smoke does, yeah.
Yeah, that looks awful.
I guess everything's alright now. Everything's perfect now.
I would love to have been like a bit of a rubble of train behind beneath that train, beneath the bridge.
Train! They got there. That's classic 80s fun. Planes, trains, automobiles.
Classic.
Nah, stand by me.
You guys missed the podcast to Stand By Me, didn't you?
Yeah, we don't get invited for that one.
There you
When the
go.
night has come.
No, it was a
I tell a
Jack.
lie, I tell a lie, I was technically, but it wasn't that film. I can't remember what we decided to do, but me and you were meant to do one, Mason, and I had to cancel. And then the next day, you told us that you and Jack did one, which it was Stand By Me, and I was slightly gutted because I thought, damn, I would have wanted to.
It was so funny because we just kept laughing at the body.
Look at that, man. That was such a great model of that DeLorean, wasn't it?
I could say one of many that was destroyed, probably.
I love how the license plate was kept swinging around.
Yeah. So are we now back to like the first film timeline?
Yeah.
Well, not even timeline, but it's just literally like the day that he left.
I know, but like, if he didn't turn up exactly the moment, like he did turn up in the last 2 movies, now there's 2 Michael J. Foxes in that timeline because they didn't come back at the same point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, like forever it's looping now. Yeah. Right now, right this minute, way back in 1885, there's another Michael J. Fox.
Did you just go back to 1985 when you started speaking there? Fuck me, like you fell down a tunnel? Hello?
You what?
When you, when you started speaking, you just went really quiet. Right back, 1985.
It's because I got a phone call. I had to decline it.
Oh, declined.
Because I'm not rude.
You imagine that, you answer the phone call and there was like somebody, hello, were you involved in an accident? Paul Ray, shut the fuck up!
Because So, is this beforehand or is this after that happened? Because he doesn't look spooked. You know what I mean? Because
That Crispin Glover at the very back there being very inconspicuous.
That's that looks like Spike Jones. That.
Has anyone questioned his dress attire? No, I haven't. There we go. Might as well include that for the rest of the film.
Well, I guess it's alright now.
Poor Elizabeth Shue. Do you want to come back and do Back to the Future 3? Awesome, I could actually have a role. Yeah, of course you can. Oh, so I'll actually be like part of the story. Oh, you'll be in it. Okay, just lie there and pretend to sleep. And cut. Right, we'll see you next year, Pat. Nah. She's pretty enough. I'll bring her back.
Give me some sugar, baby.
See, now, the problem that you're having here is that this is 2021, should I say. She hadn't consented to this.
You can't just go around kissing girls on porches, man. That's how you get bitches.
She's kissing back. She hasn't opened her eyes yet, but there we go. She's kissing back.
Could have been a dog. Look at her face. That's healthy. Where they're going to live in the future.
Yeah.
Hang on. All 2 films were leading up to this bit.
Yep.
So the payoff needs a good. Oh my god, I love Needles' face, yeah. Right in the car. He's going to go. He just like a pretty little face that he does to him when he's going to go. It's funny because, like I said, Needles were never introduced until the second film. So obviously they didn't really have a plan for 2 films, really, did they? For like a trilogy. Because you would have been in the first one.
Nah.
Is that Johnny from Karate Kid? With the sunglasses on? No.
It looked like him, but it's not. Be class if it was, though.
There he is again.
We must go back.
There's Flea again. That's 3 podcasts in a row of fleeing.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. They watch his face, yeah. It really looks so mental when he's rubbing up. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's so into it. Looks he's going to the pool.
Poor Ray getting ready for work, that one.
I don't even get ready these days. I'm just in my pyjamas half the time. When I say pyjamas, I don't mean wearing pyjamas. So I get bed sores now, actually.
See, this is dragging. This is totally dragging. Like, I mean, get Flea for a cameo, but like.
It's not dragging. It's Back to the Future. Couple of jokes, sorry.
That letter should have just disappeared. Poof, gone.
Well, it implies that the company exists and is still around, but...
Then she'll have nothing to say to Doc Brown, would she? Then she'll be even more useless.
To be fair though, our whole behaviour is like, did it all happen? It's like, nah, but you weren't really in the film. This is her, an actress. Did I really star in Back to the Future? No. It was all part of a dream.
How come there's no police around? Because obviously there's been a major accident with a vehicle.
Well, it's the 1980s. They don't have mobile phones yet.
Actually, yeah.
See, Doc Brown could have just literally murdered them two with his space train.
Next up, Pilo.
Oh, that smoke is terrible. Like,
Just, I mean, the whole magnet on the side, that looked like sort of cartoon magnet, just like, it kind of like, you can see they went wild with it and just said, let's make a really bizarre looking train, but still.
It's like Roger Rabbit magnet, isn't it? But isn't it like one of the kids like scratches, like points to us like pee or something like that? It's like a famous thing on it. When we talk to
Well, you'd have to look at a child penis to notice that.
No.
wow! Fucking hell, guys.
Jules and Fern.
There's Einstein again.
No, I think what you were referring to, he changed it now, but the first time he walked out, it looked like he was giving the middle finger.
Something like that.
Nothing to do with his penis, Paul, don't worry.
Do they ever really go into like how they're such good friends? I mean, there's quite an age gap between them, and why?
He met him in 1955 when he went Back to the Future.
Wait, wasn't he a part of the school, but he got fired?
That's probably why.
I'm making that up, because he said, didn't the head teacher, he said, oh, you shouldn't be knocking around with that crazy fool or something like that, so I wonder if he was originally one of the professors and he'd just been sacked.
That kid's all looking at the camera.
Like deadpan
Like
the
a shit
camera.
actor, like. I want to see what he's done. See if he went off to be a major star somewhere. Which one is he, Vern?
I don't know. Fern Trier? Oh no. Yeah, Vern. No, mini-me. We're complete me. The Bishop Ticket.
If it's Vern, it's Daniel Evans, and his complete workbook would be that in 1990 he appeared as Vern Brown in Back to the Future Part 3, and in 1991 he appeared as Bob in what was actually a really good program called Erie in Indiana.
Almonds.
And that's all he did.
That's it.
He got 2 roles. But just out of curiosity, let's just see if Jules did anything. Thomas Cameron Brown. He had a bit more work to him, but nothing of any note. So that was a not so great end to the trilogy, I suppose.
The end, yeah.
Not an awful film. I feel like if you put it up against the other two, I think you're right at the beginning, Paul. I think we can definitely say it's definitely the weakest of the trilogy.
For me, it is, yeah.
But what's your rating going to be, Paul?
And Donovan Scott, was he not in Police Academy?
Yeah. No, yeah. Let's try to do a question of So how many Mad Dogs out of 10?
How many what?
Mad Dogs?
Alright, Mad Dogs.
Let's have a think. Music was okay. Like I said, they did well. Obviously using the original scores, but obviously with a bit of a twist behind them. The acting, like I say, I think Clara takes me out too much of what's going on. Obviously, it shouldn't be a Doc Brown love story. What Marty did was perfectly fine, I think, and if you take all his scenes put together without all the love scene, I think it worked quite well. But if the first one gets a 7 from me and the second one got a 6, I reckon I'll give this a. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 5 Mad Dogs out of 10.
No,
I was going to say 4.5, but I got scolded last time when I started bringing points into the scoring, so I'll round it up to 5.
And you got a slump.
Yeah.
Me?
Only 4 for me, 4 Mad Dogs. There's just not a lot. There's just not a lot going on in that movie. Calling this the ultimate trilogy, I don't think it's right. I think the second one's far better, and I think the second one, if they were doing a trilogy, should have been the one to tie it up. They've thrown new characters in, and not everyone's came back, and I don't know. It's just too messy for me. It's got a nice little flourish. Best thing about it is the cameo in the Million Ways to Die in the West. I think everyone remembers that. I do remember the hype around this when it was coming out, but I don't know. It's too long. It's too long and not enough action and not enough real good comedy. It's all about building foundations, but it's nice to see that they wrapped it up and didn't leave it open. Do you know what I mean? But again, yeah, just a 4.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I give it 4 Mad Dogs. Mad Dog! I give it a 4 Mad Dog out of 10. It's my weakest in the trilogy. 2's my favourite. 1's awesome. But yeah, it's just something about the story. It just slows it down, and like I said, the ending had 3 different endings on. And to be honest, like, it should have been a little bit more in 1985 when it come back. I mean, a little bit more story behind it than just a quick, don't drive here, quick, here, quick, here, quick, quick, quick. It's kind of like it just quick off, really quick. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's alright. I mean, it is what it is, but it's neat Back to the Future too. But apart from that, like I said, Thomas F. Wilson, which I've scored all the way highly through these films, is absolutely amazing. He's a reason why I watch it for this Mad Dog.
See, the special effects haven't aged well as well, and HD, like the smoke's a real letdown. Like the additional smoke they've added and stuff like that doesn't really flow as well. So is that it? So this has been the Back to the Future podcast, all three. I don't know what we're doing next. I think we've all agreed we're going to do some throwaway podcasts next, because we literally did Jurassic Park into Roger Rabbit into this. So any ideas what we're going to do next? I think it's Carl's choice since Paul picked Back to the Future.
Paul's choice.
The Christmas film.
A Christmas film?
The Gophers film.
Fuck off the Gophers, man.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one right now because you kind of put it on the spot. But I shall, in the next 24 hours, you'll be informed in which the next series that we'll do.
Not series, just a film.
Oh, I only get one. Paul gets 3, I get 1.
Hang on. Paul only got Back to the Future because I asked what was next, and Paul shouted Back to the Future. I was just saying it's kind of like probably better off to do.
You give Paul 3 and you give me 1. That's all I'm hearing. But no, that's fine.
It's
going to make me think a little harder about which task you want to do.
Photographer is Dean Cundy. Dean Cundy's name's just appeared in the credits, so I was right, by the way. Just saying.
Well, can we just all give thanks for Gary Morgan, as he was one of the stuntmen, and I just don't think people like that get enough credit. You know.
So
Gary put his heart and soul into that, and nobody ever thinks about Gary.
Well, we'll be back again very soon for another podcast if you listen to the News Only series, but for now I've been joined by Carl McSorley and shut up Paul Ray, the man of many names. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.